Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Jamaica News and Views, and today we will be taking a very interesting journey, to the past to find out where the violent culture of this country is coming from. And I also have a question for the regular viewers. Do you think that there was a time when Jamaica was never violent? I need to know which year, because it seems to be none. Well, today, I'll be taking a journey to not review a musical or a cultural icon, but a criminal icon, and it's not a recent person, it's a very vintage, very old. So the person I'll be reviewing is none other than Rhygin Martin. But before I get into that review, Jamaica have a serious problem with violent crime, especially in Kingston and Montego Bay and other tourist areas. The crime rate is high, and the police force seems to be understaffed and has limited resources. Cause most of the crime them involve gang violence in the inner city. But tourists might also face theft, sexual assault, harassment and drug offer. Well, the use of marijuana is decriminalized but not legal, and smuggling is risky. Well, Jamaica have been violent from ever since. From way back, nobody cannot even tell me that 43 years ago Jamaica wasn't violent, because the 1980s election, we know a lot of people dead during that political war and others coming down. So most of even the recent violence, the recent gang wars, most of them are stem from them long time conflict, them long time turf war that happened from 1980. It has started from 1962, when time Jamaica gained independence, and then the place split up in a political garrisons. It's coming from way back. Now, going into the review. Vincent Martin, also known as Rhygin, was born in 1994, the 9th of September, in Linstead, St. Catherine, but he moved to his mother in Kingston when he was small. Well, born Vincent in Linstead, St. Catherine, Jamaica, he turned to a life of violent crime in his teenage years after moving to Kingston. Short and slim with an effeminate voice, meaning same voice fine. He compensated by building a reputation for extreme violence. He was first arrested at 14 for wounding, for which he was sentenced to a birching. That means when him they do the crime, like back in them days, them hold you and beat you. You understand? Further arrests for wounding and larceny followed, leading to a 6-month stint in jail. After this, he became part of a criminal gang and adopted a variety of pseudonyms, including Ivanhoe, Alan Ladd, and Captain Midnight. In 1946, he was arrested for robbery, beginning his career of self-dramatization by defending himself in court, irritating the judge with his long-winded and grandiose speeches. After a year in jail, he was released but quickly committed another robbery, for which he was convicted and sentenced to a 5-year term. So this man basically been in and out of prison. So when you realize the wanted man them from back in the days, them share the same characteristics with the man them now, them in and out of jail, until one day, them are gonna meet them demise. Because what? You see, God, him not sleeping. On the 30th of April 1948, he escaped from jail. What followed was a period of several months during which he eluded the police. The crime spree began when police attempted to capture him in August after learning from an informer that he was at the Carib Hotel. Several officers lay in wait for him there. Rhygin was in a room with a woman when police burst in. He quickly grabbed his gun and managed to shoot his way out, leaving one officer, a Detective Lewis, dead. 2 other men were wounded. Policeman H.E. Earl and ex-sergeant Gallimore, a retired officer who was assisting. The killing of Lewis led the mayor of Kingston, the then mayor of Kingston, Alexander Bustamante, to launch a major manhunt. Bustamante was a pallbearer at Lewis's funeral also. The following day, Rhygin killed a woman named Lucille T.B. Young, the girlfriend of Eric Golson, the man he believed had informed on him. He broke into her room and demanded she took him to Golson. When she said she did not know where Golson was, he shot her in the chest, killing her instantly. Jano. He then also shot the 2 other women who were in the room at the time, Estella Brown and Iris Bailey, wounding them critically. Boy, torment. Immediately after this, the police offered a $200 euro reward for the capture of Rhygin, dead or alive. Rhygin responded by writing an open letter to Detective Scott, one of the detectives leading the search for him. Well, you see how this man have the ability to read and write and articulate sentences for write to the police station, not even the police station, to write to the press about a shootout that he escaped from. The letter, which was published in the Jamaica Times, stated, "This is the letter by Rhygin, the wanted man who the police were looking for. I have an arsenal of 29 shots, and I am satisfied that I have made history for the criminal element in Jamaica. Don't think that I am going to kill myself, because this will only serve to spoil my great record. But I hope that Detective Scott will train his men some more. I am going to show the police force what's lacking and what I can do." He killed another man a few days later. Jonathan Thomas, an associate of Rhygin, was walking along the street with his wife when Rhygin appeared and shot him. He then attempted to kill another man, Selvin Maxwell, but Maxwell managed to wrestle the gun from Rhygin's hand. So you see that? You're weak. Physically you're weak because you make a man take away your strap. Rhygin escaped after stealing Maxwell's car. He was involved in robberies, possible to fund a planned escape from Jamaica. He was suspected of robbing the White Horse Inn at Mary's Brown Corner, during which a security guard was tied up, and a store near Rassa Road. The crime spree made Rhygin famous. During the spree, he sent taunting messages to the press and made a photograph of himself holding guns in a letter to the Daily Gleaner, and he gave his own account of the shootout at the hotel. So this is what the wanted man Ivano Martin wrote to the press about the shootout between him and the police. "I decided to make a dash. I ran to the door with my pistol in my hand. I did not even have time to reach for my clothes. I look outside. I heard the sound of another shot. I see the men mean to make the end of me tonight, but I intend to carry someone with me. At that time I only had 5 shots with me. I put myself outside. I was hit in my right shoulder. That did not make much. 1 shot fired from this crowd hit the butt of my gun. I fired back. I think I saw every man except one who was staggering." Police circulated a description of Rhygin at the time, which stated that he was 5'3" tall. Now tell me how a man with 5'3" tall so wicked? Me no know. But tended to wear shoes with high heels to improve his stature, so him wear high heel shoes to look taller. He also had several front teeth missing in the upper jaw, but sometimes wore false teeth. He intended to wear polarized sunglasses and had a habit of looking backwards after every steps and spitting after every few words he speak. Well, most bad man have to walk and look over them shoulder after every few steps, because, you know, him know him hot and him know him in a trouble. Now, this is when things got sticky for Rhygin. Rhygin hid out with some friends for a while near his childhood home in St. Catherine. But police were informed of his whereabouts. He managed to flee to Lime Cay, but again, police were quickly tipped off. On the 9th of September 1948, they swooped on his hideout. He fought off the police for an hour, but was killed when he attempted to break out. He died at age 24 of gunshot wounds on the beach at Lime Cay. He had been shot 5 times in the head and several times all over his body. He may have been hiding at Lime Cay while waiting for a boat to take him to Cuba. Police at the time believed that he intended to board a boat which would take him out of the island or to some place on the southwestern coast of the island. Rhygin's body was held at the city mortuary before being buried in a pauper's grave. So you know what is a pauper's grave? A grave where them just dig and just throw you in like you're a dog or you're a hog. Eric Golson, who reportedly commented, "The race is not for the swift, Rhygin. You're gone at last." In order to avoid large crowds gathering to see his burial, police stated that they were taking the body to Spanish Town. He was taken to Maypen Cemetery where he was buried quick, without ceremony. Well, when I was smaller, my grandmother used to tell me, say, if you live like dog, you're going dead and bury like dog. Well, Rhygin literally was buried like a dog because he was buried in a pauper's grave without a ceremony. So them just fling him in a hole and just bury him, not even funeral, nothing, them just bury him so. Bury him, same time, dog settings. Now, this is not to highlight this man, you understand? This is just to educate these nowadays youths and let them see that either way, badness never pay. But, that is it for today, and remember to like, subscribe and share because you only getting authentic news over here. This is Jamaica News and Views, and this was a journey to the past. Please stay tuned for more reviews and more news.